Look, since we still on basketball and all that, right? Since we on trades and all that type of stuff, so there's rumors going around with Andre Drummond on the buyout market, right? And they talking about him going
to the Lakers.
Nope, the Brooklyn Nets.
Or the Nets.
Hey, a buyout market.
Oh, buyout market.
Yeah, and then they talk
They
about
need him,
the
though.
Brooklyn need him.
They
Listen,
need him, though.
if they get him, I think they scary. I ain't gonna hold you because that's all they missing. Like they second center is Jeff Green. Seriously.
The only thing I can count on them losing is if like Andre Drummond's a lot dumber than I think he is. But
listen, we ain't never seen Drummond in no real.
That's what I'm saying.
In the playoffs. Yeah, that's why I don't trust these.
I still don't believe in that shit, dog.
In the East, I feel like they'll be dangerous in the East.
Because I could see him turning the playoff JaVale McGee right away.
I don't doubt it.
That's what I'm saying,
I don't
man.
doubt it.
I've never seen this nigga on Shaq and the Fool ever. You gotta show me that video, bro.
Bro, no, it's
Drummond
not
just
dumb.
trying to do. He tried to turn into T-Mac like one time.
Bro, he
like,
does
what is
some
he
shit.
doing?
He does something. I'm telling you, he got a little goofiness to his game, like JaVale. But I like Drummond. I like Drummond.
I guess I'm gonna be real. I don't watch their games that often. I only watch when Embiid is up against him, and he never looks stupid against Embiid.
Because Embiid ain't nobody you gotta be that smart against. He just a big body you gotta be able to body against. That's really, but he just really good at shooting and all his,
But
Drummond, that's probably his hardest matchup he ever has. Drummond is like one of those guys that's at the park and you're like, all right, we got an extra ball and he big. And you just picked him up because he big. And then he scored 2 baskets and you're like, oh shit, good shit, big man. And then
he get carried away.
He's going to get carried away.
Yeah, he gonna start dribbling up.
He start trying to do no through his legs. He's like, what are you doing?
He do that type of shit.
Get your putback.
He do that.
Why are you taking it back to the
He get
key?
excited.
He get excited. That's exactly what JaVale McGee do to another level.
They do.
But he used to.
But look, because
Andre Drummond doesn't shoot.
That nigga just went 92
Drummond try to
between the
That
legs.
nigga just went 92 the other night. I said, God damn, that's
Listen, but look what they say about Drummond be balling in the summer leagues and shit, right? And he be bringing the ball up. Like real shit, I'm not gonna lie, that shit be looking pretty sometimes in summer leagues and shit. Like that shit, he be pulling threes and all that shit.
He's still in the summer league?
And not the NBA summer leagues when they be balling in like the Drew leagues.
I'm about to say Drummond like 20 years
He be in the Drew leagues and shit like that.
Okay,
the NBA players go to the Drew leagues and
It's less pressure on him doing that, John.
That's what I'm saying. He be in his bag. He be balling.
Yeah, people don't play tough defense in them Jones.
Exactly. It just be like a show off party. So he be doing all that. Right. But in the league, you can't do that shit, dog. Like, them niggas get carried away and start doing dumb shit. Bro, that's like his third time
went behind his back in the middle, like down the lane. He made it and everything. And I was just like, he going to the bench. Because
that's not, no, bro. He did that shit earlier in the season, too, on the same tip, bro.
Bro, I seen JaVale McGee in the middle of a game try to dunk from the foul line on a fast break when he was playing with Denver and missed it twice. Okay, that's what the retarded shit I'm talking about. Excuse my language.
That's why Don called him Shaq and the Fool.
JaVale McGee.
So that's my man, though. But we ain't gonna get too much into JaVale. So look, all right. So real shit though.
That's a fun ass name these days.
The real topic though, right? Drummond. If Drummond go to the Brooklyn Nets, like let's go down the line and shit. How you feel about that Brooklyn Nets team if they acquired Drummond?
I still don't believe. Like I didn't change my whole shit up from early on in the season. My whole shit is switched now. Just looking at. See, I'm looking at the shit from a whole total team shit. From team aspect on once the playoffs come.
Nah.
I'm looking at my Sixers this way. I'm looking at every team this way. With the Brooklyn Nets, they're going to have a hard time with that fucking bench. One of those 3 players going to have to play like 40 minutes a night. Damn, or 34, 35 minutes a night. One of them is going to have to. They bench is fucking trash.
All right. Before you continue, real quick. You know they're going to get Spencer Dinwiddie back later.
No.
Is he coming back for real?
Next year.
Yo.
Oh, he out for the season?
I mean, they said it's a chance he can come back.
I thought he was
playoffs.
coming back before the playoffs.
They said for the playoffs, but I don't see it.
Yeah,
like, that's a major injury.
That's what I was saying for the bench.
Yeah,
that's a major difference. And he's a ball handler too. So that already makes it. He's a facilitator. So if he comes back, that makes a big difference.
I don't see it though.
But
I think that makes a bigger difference than Drummond. But
off the bench it would. Yeah, off the bench for sure. But that's my point. I'm not seeing them. I don't think he's coming back. And so I'm looking at it like they got a problem on their bench, man. Like a team like the Sixers actually got a couple guys that can come off the bench and drop like 20 on you.
We got like a nice.
Maybe
team there.
together they could drop about 25 on you if you put them in the right position.
Yeah.
I mean, once Embiid come off the floor, a lot of our points, goes down a little bit, but we got to play smart basketball. I feel like our two guards that we got can play smart basketball. I really believe in those in those two young guys. I do.
So you don't like Brooklyn?
I don't like
you don't
Brooklyn.
like Drummond?
No,
so
I
what you
don't,
think,
I don't
bro?
like Brooklyn. No.
I think a couple of teams could use him.
About
It
Milwaukee.
definitely makes Brooklyn a lot more dangerous.
It
though,
do.
because their biggest issue to me is the fact that they don't have front
The
court
offensive
defense.
glass,
They
they
don't
gonna
have
get
front. They
killed.
only got DeAndre Jordan, and that's it. And
That's
he's wear down a little bit. He's
Yup.
not
A
the
lot of
same.
it.
They be playing him like 20 minutes and shit like that.
Exactly. Like they backup center. I think on the depth chart is
Jeff Green.
It's Jeff Green.
Or KD, I guess.
They
Yeah, right. KD at
They
center. Oh
could
my
use
God,
like
that's
two
scary.
centers, no matter who they are.
That's
As long as
facts.
they're
what I'm
big.
saying.
As long as they
And the
big.
fact that they're gonna get Andre Drummond, who's like a cusp of an all-star kind of guy.
Right.
And you
That'd be something. I
He
feel
don't
like
have
that
to
would
touch
work.
the ball.
He don't.
He's
just
gonna be
gotta go
around
play
smarter
defense.
guy. He's all he got to do is
Crash
rebound
the
and play
glass and
defense.
play D.
Nobody else has to crash the glass but him now.
That's facts. Him and Jordan when Jordan them. That's it.
Think about how efficient these guys are. These are three efficient scorers that he's playing with. Very efficient guys. Now
Are
they're
they-
about to get somebody that's going to be able to give them the offensive rebounds.
Yep. Or crash the defensive glass, cause their
he's
opponents be getting offensive rebounds, killing them. Like that's how they be getting killed. They opponents just be killing the offensive glass. So that's gonna work. They do need a big man. Like that would work. They would be scary. Like
out of the three, who do y'all feel like needs to play the most minutes out of those three? Out of the big three,
Kyrie.
has to play the most.
Durant, and the
I
Big.
think Harden need to play the most minutes.
You say Harden.
Yep.
What'd you say?
I think Harden. Cause Harden is their point guard.
And
Y'all can see it now.
I'm not talking season. I'm talking playoffs.
Oh, play out the
I ain't talking season. My whole mindset, I'm telling you, I'm kind of like pushing.
I still
for
think
playoffs
Harden.
and
I
all
still
of this.
think Harden.
I think
You say Harden?
I'm gonna say why. I think Harden because he's
I
a
agree.
point
But I'm
guard.
gonna tell you why. Go
He
ahead.
a point guard, right? And he not doing much. Like Harden, since Kyrie been back, Harden averaging like 19 or some shit like that. Like he ain't shooting. This nigga been shooting 8 shots per half type shit. You know he shoot that per quarter. Since Kyrie been back, he been shooting like 8 shots per half and shit like that. So I feel like Harden could play the most minutes. He should and he will be able to because he ain't doing much for except facilitating. So when them other two guys go to the bench, then Harden can get his buckets. Like, and we know Harden is a bucket. Like, so I feel like Harden need to play the most.
Go ahead, you want?
I actually have no opinion on this shit. I'm gonna be real with you, yo. Like, go ahead though.
I think Harden too. I agree with you on Harden, and I agree more so the fact that I think they're gonna, due to Kyrie and KD coming off, I think they're gonna like let them take over third quarters, all three of them together, and then it's like fourth quarter, you're gonna see more of KD and Kyrie.
Right.
James Harden is probably the better facilitator out of the three,
Yes.
and they're gonna use him a lot of the times off the ball when they're in the games, and then when he's in the game, it's like do whatever you want.
Right.
Okay.
He's gonna get a lot of sets
Okay.
without those two, and he's gonna be able to ball with the bench by
So
himself.
that shit
That's
works.
what I was saying.
Now,
That's what I was thinking.
I agree with
Like
you.
one of them got to play that 6-man role. I feel like.
You got to.
That's the
It's-
point of the question.
He's gonna be exactly what he did in OKC
OKC.
back in the day. Only
Just
difference
without
is he's
Westbrook.
actually gonna start, and Kyrie's probably gonna play more bench until the fourth quarter.
that
But
6-man
this is
role.
why I threw that out there because I'm looking at it in the way of what you just said, but I'm questioning the fact that all right, will he still? Because remember we talking about James Harden, the nigga that lose in the playoffs. Let's just keep it.
No, that's facts.
So, but what where the difference will lie is he gonna be running the bench, right? He gonna be running the second
the
team
second unit.
against the other second
second
team.
unit.
So that shit might definitely.
That's
I think
a
that will
confidence
definitely
builder.
work.
Like real
That
shit.
will
Because you don't
definitely
need
work.
him to be your closer.
Yeah.
You got two Nick.
Yeah.
Listen, Kyrie is the best closer on that team in my opinion.
Yeah, you don't have to have, even if you do, all right, it'll be a stretch in the fourth quarter. If it's a close game, all right, it's a stretch in there.
Like last game with them, last
Send him
game
over
he
there,
closed.
send him over there.
Last game they played, it's a regular season, not the playoff, but the last game they played Miami, Harden closed that game out. He was quiet all game. Then that fourth quarter, Kyrie and KD was off. James Harden closed that shit out. He had like 3 straight threes. He had like 4 assists in the fourth quarter. Like he closed the game.
You pretty much hide him. And you pretty much hide him. Like you can hide Ben Simmons back, you know what I mean? You can hide him on offense. There's a way to hide people on the court.
Yeah, that's
Y'all
fact.
play ball.
Yeah.
It's a way to hide a nigga.
On defense and offense.
On defense and offense. So with Harden, you can hide that nigga's deficiencies, you know what I mean, on the defensive end. Him and fucking Kyrie.
But you
Kyrie,
can't hide 2 people at one time.
But I'm
though.
saying, one at a time, you can hide a nigga.
Yeah.
With
But
Brooklyn,
when they- at a time.
Brooklyn's gonna have to play. I'ma outscore you basketball.
That's it. Because they're going to be on the
They
court.
gonna need a rest though, man.
Drummond would help if they pick him
He will
up.
help.
He would help at the basket. And
He will.
they wouldn't have to play too hard like man defenses, whereas
They
they
would.
can let a guy go.
Exactly.
Because
they
they
got
have-
rim protection.
Exactly.
Yep.
So it's gonna be less strain on Harden and less strain on Kyrie and KD. 'Cause
KD needs the less strain, man. He's
That's
balling
fact.
out too
That's
much.
fact.
He has
They play
defense,
too many
but his
minutes,
defense
too many
is more
minutes,
way
because
too
he's
many
lengthy.
minutes.
He's a lengthy
Yeah.
guy. He don't have to be as disciplined on defense.
Yo, they
as
played
Harden
50
and
minutes the other
Kyrie.
night against Cleveland.
50 minutes?
They trying-
Yeah,
they trying
when they
to
went
get
to
that win.
overtime, they
They
played.
trying to get that win.
And they lost. And they lost.
Damn.
All them niggas played like 50 minutes and they lost.
Yeah.
Oh, they,
Coming
oh,
off
they-
that
they-
Achilles,
Cleveland.
man.
When Sexton gave him 42.
Sexton, yeah, Sexton had sex with them niggas, dog.
He
Coming
damn
off
sure
that
did. He did that
Achilles, man.
beat joint.
Them so dirty.
He took it.
He sexed them right up, dog.
Oh, that's why KD head was looking like that.
Man, that nigga, he
He
always
look
get
like that since he came
No,
to
no.
the league, bro.
That's crazy,
He
man.
didn't get that shit cut, bro.
Yeah, that shit's hard.
You get KD, you too
Wear a
great.
headband,
I'm
wear
not
a
gonna say shit look like
do-rag.
grass.
KD needed to do that.
He look like Ollie Field in the middle. He look like Ollie Field. I remember Ollie Field in the middle of the field. There was no grass. It was dirt. It was dirt in the middle of the field, but around the sides it was grass. That's what he got.
Yeah.
It's like Ollie Field. It's like a pitcher's mound.
Hey, y'all got a comparison for y'all. I got a comparison for y'all.
All right.
What it do, baby?
Quick John. Who y'all taking? JJ Redick or Kyle Korver?
JJ Redick.
As your shooter.
JJ Redick.
JJ Redick.
Oh, y'all niggas said that too
JJ
easy.
Redick.
I like JJ Redick.
It is easy.
It's pretty, yeah.
I'm gonna take.
I think he's less of a liability on defense.
Just because
No,
Kyle
he's not.
He's less of a
Who
liability.
bugging?
Who say he's less than a Kyle?
No.
He's less of a
I'm
liability
gonna
on
say
defense.
Kyle Korver is less of a liability because he got more length. Yo, JJ Redick is the nigga that everybody picks on. Like
But
they
he,
be like,
he
pick
wasn't
on
all
Redick.
right. We talking like
They
we
be
saying like right now. What you gotta have one of those guys as they are now.
as your shooter.
As they are now.
No, I'm just saying like it could be their prime.
Because
type
it
shit.
was times
It
when
could be them in
JJ
their
Redick
prime.
wasn't bad at defense. When he was in the Clippers, he
You
was
saw
not
a
that
shot.
bad
Nigga,
as
you
a
learn how to
defender.
shoot from JJ Redick.
Bro.
I did.
No, they're doing that
JJ
three-point
Redick wasn't that
DVD.
bad as a defender. when
How
he-
he not gonna choose JJ Redick and he learn how to shoot?
Bro, I picked JJ Redick. He did on the better basketball DVDs. Yeah, nigga, I was in the gym like this. I was like, oh, I gotta do this. I gotta put the elbow. Yeah.
Hey, Don, do that.
Redick. Shout out my man Redick.
JJ Redick, nigga.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm just saying, y'all just like y'all ain't gonna slight my man Kyle.
I'm not swiping him.
I mean, Look, I feel like this.
I feel like JJ can hit a lot more inside jumps.
I feel like Kyle Korver
Kyle
got
Korver
more.
only shoot
I
outside.
feel like Kyle Korver got more career threes than JJ Redick.
Oh,
Maybe,
I'm not denying that.
maybe, because JJ Redick, you know.
JJ
So hold on,
Redick
y'all ain't listen to the question. I thought I said as your shooter.
Oh, I thought you
as your
said
shooter.
period.
As your shooter on your team.
I still want JJ Redick, man. I feel
Prime
like, I feel
Redick
like
or
he more
Prime
dog.
Korver,
I feel
as
like
a
he,
shooter.
I feel like he more dog. I love dogs. And every walk of
Nigga, you don't love dogs. This nigga scared of dogs.
Yes, I don't fuck with him. I ain't did it before
I
that.
seen you run from a Rottweiler.
Damn right.
Nigga, I seen you run from that Chihuahua.
I been running from all that shit.
Nigga, you don't love dogs.